Alright, I welcome you to another edition of Total Sports on the Fox Business Radio 92.5FM. In the Sports on radio, time and time again to take you around the world of sport, talk about some interesting stories going around to the world of sport. This afternoon, we're going to talk about, a whole lot. First of all, is the Super Eagles team list, and also we're talking about the situation right now at Chelsea. Who is probably going to land that Chelsea role? We're talking about who is going to become Chelsea's new owner. Who's going to take over from Roman Abramovich, and of course what to expect from them. The coach Thomas Tuchel said something. He's not really happy, but still that doesn't mean he's actually going to leave the club, according to what Tuchel is saying. Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher also has one or two things to say as to Chelsea's current situation and how it probably would affect the team later on. We're talking about that on the program this afternoon. Remember, the draws for the Emirates FA Cup has been confirmed. It's going to be Chelsea against Middlesbrough, Manchester City against Southampton, Liverpool against Huddersfield, and Nottingham Forest. The National Basketball Association, Lakers were beaten once more this morning by the LA Clippers, 132-111. We'll be talking about that game. As well, Golden State Warriors were also beaten. Brooklyn Nets were also beaten. The Giants were beaten this morning in the NBA. And what a day it was. Kevin Durant is back for Brooklyn Nets. We'll also be talking about the Tigers of Nigeria and what the captain Adaora Elonu has to say after the draws has been made. I'm talking about the draws for the FIBA Women's World Cup in Australia. They know their foes already, and the coach Adaora Elonu has said something ahead of that, which is actually key if we really want to see the best from the team. Quite a lot to talk about on the program this afternoon. Without further ado, let's get down to business. But first, just to let you know, you can be a big part of the program. When the time is right, I will open the studio line so you can call in and let's talk on the Super Eagles team list, the roster for the playoff against Ghana. Or you can put down the studio lines right now: 0815-192-5925, 0815-192-5925, or 0902-280-9257, 0902-280-9257. You can send your text messages to this number: 081-105-26487, or 0916-104-7698. The lines to reach us right here in the live studios of Impact Business Radio 92.5FM. I'm Kenny Babidele. I'll be your uncle for this afternoon's program. This is the sport headquarters in Southwest Nigeria. Welcome once again to the sports on Ibr 92.5FM. Right, I've got the sport maestro right here with me this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, the sport maestro. How are you doing?
Yeah, of course, good afternoon to you, Kenny, and good afternoon to all our listeners, the TGF edition of the show. And we just need to crisscross the world of sport to talk about some of the things that are happening in the world of sport at the moment. And it's a bit sad for all Chelsea fans at the moment, because Roman Abramovich might be on his way to making it known that the club is up for sale. And at the moment,
the club is up for sale already.
Exactly, and he hasn't really come out to make that statement, but a lot has been said about making up, and he said something that is very key. He has loaned out the club for about the loan is for about 1.5 billion pounds. That's what he's looking forward to. But he said the proceeds of that particular loan, if it's to be paid back, would be given to the orphanage and all of that, those that are the war victims and all of that. So, but looking at it from another point of view, I would say that I hope this is not going to affect the team, Chelsea itself, because Chelsea is a team that has they've struggled and came back, struggled and came back, yet they are still standing. But this could actually have a ripple effect on their performance if they are not careful. A lot has been said to Thomas Tuchel to ask him what's happening. He said, well, I'm not a politician, I don't know nothing about this. And I remember prior to that game against Liverpool, he said he would be willing to lose to Liverpool if that would bring peace between Russia and Ukraine. But unfortunately, that hasn't brought anything. But we hope that this is going to be laid to bear, and we're going to see good development coming from the world of sports. And in the world of pugilism, we're saying that man has been talking to the Egyptian king himself, saying, well, he's going to retire after that Dillian White fight. And that Dillian White fight, Dillian has said, well, I'm going to give him a run for his money, but only time will tell, because I know of a truth that Dillian is no match for Tyson Fury at the moment. But of course, anything can happen in sport. An upset is one of the things that could actually happen in the world of sport, and we've got a lot to actually do this afternoon. So let's just get down to business. Good afternoon, welcome on board.
All right, so welcome once again, Samson Amutajero, the sports maestro. Let's start from the National Basketball Association this afternoon. All right, let's start from the Lakers against the Clippers game. The Lakers suffered a fourth consecutive defeat as they were beaten 132 to 111 by the Los Angeles Clippers. LeBron James scored 26 points and had 8 rebounds, but could not stop the Lakers losing. Reggie Jackson starred for the Clippers with 36 points. He added 9 assists and 8 rebounds. The Clippers took control with a 23-0 run early in the second half as they won a 5th game in a row. In another game, Luka Doncic scored the game high for the 1 point and had 10 rebounds and 9 assists as he helped the Dallas Mavericks beat Golden State Warriors 122 to 113. The Warriors came back from a 17-point deficit to level the game at 104 apiece, but the Mavericks finished strongly and secured the victory. Before we talk about other results, let's talk about these two games first. Steph Curry contributed 21 points and assists and 5 rebounds for the Warriors, but they lost the 3rd game in a row for the first time this season. Starting with the Lakers game. Lakers are really struggling. And since the start of this season, some players, let me say a player have really gotten the most attack by fans, by journalists, basketball pundits, name it. And it's no other than Russell Westbrook. And some of the attacks have also been directed to the coach Frank Vogel for some, tactical, some poor tactics and all. But what do you think about the Lakers season in general? Who is the reason for this, their flaw? Because nobody actually predicted Lakers would go, with 4 this deep. I mean, so far this season.
Well, if you look at it very well, you'd understand that, this team, the Lakers team, have been struggling lately. And that struggle has really not been good for them. It has not really been good for them, and I feel that they need a whole lot of work to do. That man, Russell Westbrook, you know him to be that hot-tempered person, and he hasn't replicated that form that they feel that it should come with from the team he was coming from. And looking at it, it has always been LeBron James, and LeBron, and Anthony Davis. AD is not around now. They're having a lot of issues going into the games. And LeBron can't do it alone. He needs someone like Russell who can actually do a fantastic work. But he has not really lived up to expectation, and that is costing them as we speak right now. So a lot of work must be done. Frank Vogel needs to change his tactics. Going into that game in the first quarter, we saw how the LA Lakers team were all up on the Clippers. They won the first quarter, and it was towards the second quarter, 3rd and 4th, that they started, leaving a lot of, they lost about 10 to 11 points. They lost it.
Yeah, they were leading at some point.
At the point, so and before you know it, the points began to the wide. I mean, the gap began to increase. So it's not something that I feel. Lakers have not really done it.
Okay, let's talk about the Golden State Warriors right now. And of course, their form. The last 3 games have ended in defeat for them, and this is the first time that Golden State Warriors will lose 3 consecutive games this season. Yeah. Don't you think we should be worried, because we are getting to the end of the regular season already, and pray that this won't creep into the playoffs performance?
Yeah, it might if they are not careful about it. Like I said, it might creep into it. It's just a matter of time. You have lost 3 on the bounce. The same thing happened to Brooklyn Nets when KD wasn't around, and they lost quite a number of games on the bounce. But it's not really over. It's just 3 games at the moment. I feel they can bounce back. By the time they bounce back, perhaps something is going to be done about that. But I feel that they can still do something about it.
Okay, now let's talk about another game. It's the one involving the Brooklyn Nets, because Kevin Durant returned after a 21-game absence for Brooklyn Nets, but could not prevent his side from going down to a 113-107 defeat by the Miami Heat. Kevin Durant is back, but there is no win for Brooklyn Nets yet.
Yeah, of course.
And brother, they may be playing in the play-in tournament, which means no automatic spot for the playoff if they ain't careful.
Remember, I told you this. I remember I told you this beforehand. I said this time you might not really be able to get 100% from KD. KD is just returning. I mean, when you return from injuries like that, a lot will have been taken away from you. Form, you'd have dropped form, you'd have dropped some, So and of course, when he returned, his return was even massive, and for him to have dropped a lot of points, returning, it shows that he is really willing to do a lot of work. Tyler Hero dropped 27 points for the Miami. Of course, Jimmy Butler wasn't there. If Jimmy was there and some other players were there, I mean, I wouldn't even know how the score I would have looked like. I know you want me to actually end it because it's your team, but they were actually beating Black and Blue.
No, it's not my team, but just one of those teams that you just give the go ahead because you feel because of what happened last season, you feel they can go so far this season.
Yeah, if Kevin could drop 31 points on his return, it shows that they still have something.
They could still bounce back.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
Okay, right. So before we move away from NBA, let's talk about that game split in the NBA. Trae Young scored 39 points and including 4 3-pointers in the fourth quarter as Atlanta Hawks beat Chicago Bulls 130-124. The Boston Celtics, that's in charge. Our own man, I'm talking about Ime Udoka, in charge of that team. I think he got the manager of the month of February there in the National Basketball Association. The Boston Celtics claimed a 13th win in 15 games with a 120-107 victory over the Memphis Grizzlies, while Detroit Pistons beat Toronto Raptors 108-106. Sacramento Kings overcame San Antonio Spurs 115-112. Alright, let's move away from the National Basketball Association. You see on Total Sport on Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. Now let's talk about basketball here in Nigeria, and this has got to do with the D Tigress of Nigeria, because the Nigeria senior women's team have been drawn in Group B, but that is not the news. The news is that the captain for the team, Adara Elono, has called for early preparations for the African champions after they were drawn in Group B. The competition is scheduled to hold from 22nd of September to 4th of October in Sydney, with the Tigers pitted against hosts Australia, France, Serbia, Japan and Canada in Group B. While Group A has United States, China, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Korea and a team yet to be decided after the exclusion of Russia following the country's invasion of Ukraine. The team captain Adara Elono called for early preparation and unity among the members of the Nigeria Basketball Federation. Now this is what I want you to talk about. This is what she said, and I quote, "The coach will design the program and how long we need to be in camp. But firstly, we need to put our house in order. We did a good job at the last World Cup in terms of planning, even at the Olympics. But I know we are Nigerians and we do a lot of things last minute. So if we don't want to struggle, I suggest we start preparing early." That's coming from Adara Elono. What do you think as to this? Also mentioning that the members of the MBBF must also trying to put things in order. Don't you think this is just some kind of indirect warning to the federation?
Yeah, it's a kind of indirect warning to the federation. Remember, prior to this time, there have been a lot of crisis rocking the MBBF, and that has not really helped the D Tigress and even the D Tigers of Nigeria. So they need to do a work. Of course, I expect the sports minister, Honorable Sunday Dare, to actually come to the rescue of the MBBF, settle this dispute once and for all, and allow it. There was a time that there was a sanction that ought to have been placed on the MBBF if they fail to put their house in order. And right now, it seems like things are still it's still normal. It's not really. I've not really seen any change for me. I've not really seen any change. So Adara is actually saying now, settle this house. Let's have the in-house crisis we are having. Let's settle this dispute and come together. The team is doing well. They have won the Afro Basket 3 times on the bounce, and that shows that the supremacy they've got over every other team in Africa. They are currently ranked 10th in the world. That shows they are doing well. So this team, should not be
They are
demoralized.
ranked 14th.
You know, they shouldn't be. Of course, I'm seeing it here. You know, they are ranked, 10th position at the moment in the world. So it looks like, well, if they are ranked even 14th, at least they are still within the ranks of this Japanese guy. Of course, Japan is there. Canada is there, Australia is there, France is there. These are teams that are ranked top 10 in the world. So if we want to compete with the best, we have to beat them. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. So it's an opportunity for us to take a step forward. That we the last time at Tenerife, it was we actually we got past the second round and we got to the quarterfinals. We can take it a little further by getting to the semifinals if the NBBF decide to make this matter, they just settle it and sweep it under the carpet and ensure that everything goes smoothly. Right. My advice to the NBBF is, please push away personal ambition and push these compatriots. These are ladies that are giving their best and their all. So allow them to represent their country.
Okay, now looking at our group, before we move away from that and talk about football, to do with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, looking at our group, we've got host country Australia, France, Serbia, Japan, and Canada. Now, looking at Australia, of course, are the host nation, so it's really going to be tough because they will get home support. For the French women's basketball team, we defeated them at the qualifiers for the FIBA Women's World Cup. Remember, February last month. Sure. That was a remarkable victory for them there, and historical victory as well for the D Tigers. Looking at Serbia, we played against Serbia, in a friendly game last year ahead of the Olympics, and we did not do too badly. We had players like Dauda, players like Izine Kalu, Tony Gifa, Nicola, all present. Japan also, I think we also played against Japan at the Olympics.
Sure.
I think so. And Canada. So, looking at this group, do you think we can make it out of this group?
Well, for me, the team is a serious team, as far as I'm concerned right now, and Otis Ugly is doing a fantastic job. He's doing a fantastic job at the moment. So it's a work. It's something that they can do. They can make it work, and if they can make it work like this, it's something. So for me, I feel that we can qualify from this group. It can be done. We played against France and we defeated France. Now, if we can play against Canada and do well, if we can play against Serbia and scale through, why not? We can qualify from this group.
All right, so let's move away from that right now. Still on to Total Sport on Impact's Business Radio 92.5 FM with Kenny Bamidele and of course the Sport Maestro Samson Amutajero. Now let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The provisional list for the playoff against Ghana. The technical advisor Augustin Guavon has called up Captain Ahmed Musa, Deputy Captain William Trust Ekong, midfielder Wilfred Ndidi, and forwards Moses Simon and Kelechi Iheanacho in the Super Eagles provisional list of 32 for the FIFA World Cup Qatar playoff round against the Black Stars of Ghana. Also called up our goalkeepers Maduka Okoye, Daniel Akpeyi, defenders Kenneth Omeru, Oluwaseyi Ajayi, Abdullah Ishewu also there. Midfielders, we've got Ogenekaro Etebo, Joseph Ayodele Aribo, forwards Victor Osimhen, Odion Igalo, and Samuel Chukwueze. Leicester City FC of England forward Ademola Lookman, recently cleared by FIFA Switch International Allegiance, are also there. There is Akinkumi Awao, who is also part of the first-time callers, while defender Calvin Bassey and forward Emmanuel Dennis return to the fold of the three-time African champions. 2021 AFCON forward Taiwo Awuni, Peter Olayinka, defender Chidozie Awaziem, a long-time absentee Ogenye Nazi are in the seven-man standby list. The camp opens on the 24th of March with a 24-man list for the two big names to be released at a later date. The Sports Maestro, starting with the goalkeepers right now. We've got three here: Francis Zoho, Daniel Akpeyi, Maduka Okoye. Those are the goalkeepers for released by Augustin Eguavon, the technical advisor of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, ahead of that game against Ghana. But this is just the provisional list. It's still going to be chopped down to 24. Now, what do you think about the goalkeeping department? This is one issue that we have really hammered on for some time now, being worried that we don't have a very good goalkeeper. But what do you have to say as to this selection, and who do you think should be our number one?
Yeah, well, for me, a lot have been said. A lot have been said about the goalkeeping position. In fact, right now, I'm just I'm as confused as any other person in terms of choosing who should be. Because for me, I feel none of them has really been a match for our past goalkeepers that we've got in the Super Eagles. And the persons of Vincent Eyama, Peter Rufai, Keshoromu, and the likes that we've got, in the past. But none of these players, none of these goalkeepers have been able to match up their, the pedigree of these goalkeepers. So, but for now, for me, everybody have been talking. Okoye could actually still be there. Okoye
But
right
it was
now,
that AFCON, and it was, slammed by some Nigerians for that poor save, for that poor, goalkeeping against that Tunisian strike.
yeah, he's a young goalkeeper coming up. He's just from next season now we're going to see what he's going to do with Watford. He has been signed by Watford.
You are talking about coming. Do you think Maduka Okoye is still like coming up? I mean, still a rookie.
All the players, all the goalkeepers that we have in that rank, they are still coming up. If you call Daniel,
so you mean Akpe is
coming up? I don't. You can't tell.
Don't you think
why
it's
hasn't
an
Akpe
insult? Don't you think it's an insult
for a bigger club?
It's an insult on Akpe saying it's coming up, because this same Akpe has gotten several Player of the Month award with Kaizer Chiefs. But I'll get back to you. We've got some bills to pay. Total Sport will be back shortly.
Wo sórí ó ṣe jẹ́ lè ní pé ẹni tó bá kọ́ bọ́ sí ìgboro ni ó ṣe pàtàkì kéèyàn wá nǹkan máa ṣe nítorí akitiyan ò lópin kó ọ̀n sọ̀hún tààrà wá ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan nìyẹn súnkẹrẹ gbàkẹrẹ fẹ́ni tó bá ní nǹkan ṣe nítorí pé iwájú ọ̀pá ibi tí ń sí kò sáyè fún fàsẹ́yìn láéláé bá ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan nìyẹn torí náà báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ ṣe lónìí MTN.
Alright, welcome back from that break. I want to do the sport on Ibr92.5FM. Alright, we are talking about Daniel Akpe, and I really want to talk about this Sport Maestro. You can't see Akpe is coming up, and looking at how far he's come.
Yeah, you can say that again and say how far he has come. Yes, we've seen he has been in the ranks even when Vincent Eyama was there. Yes, he was there. But for me, what has he done so far? You see him. You can see him jittering, or even on of course in between goalposts. So I can't really sense. I can't say maybe if he's given the opportunity now, it might prove me wrong. But then for me, I have no single belief, in this man called Daniel Akpe. It might be better.
Okay, for the fact that you don't have belief on Akpe doesn't mean you say it's coming up.
Well, for me, it's coming up. For me, it's coming up because if you want to judge him by of course, you are judged by your last game. The last game he played for Nigeria was against Algeria, and that's that blunder he actually did.
Now we have seen world-class goalkeepers. We have seen world-class goalkeepers being messed up in different situations.
I'm not saying. I said
now, if you are judging, if you are saying Akpe, this same Akpe has made some stunning saves, but nobody's talking about that.
Where did he make that? If Kaizer Chiefs, not Nigeria.
He's done with Nigeria too. I remember a game Nigeria had against South Africa that was supposed to be a friendly game. He saved the penalty. You're making me talk about this. You're making me talk about this when I shouldn't be talking about this, because you can't water down the credibility. Not that the Sport Maestro. I still think that looking at the goalkeepers we have, Francis Uzor, Daniel Akpe, Maduka Okoye, Akpe is the most experienced.
Yes, it's
so you can't say the most experienced. It's coming up. That's
it's coming up. When I say it's coming up, I'm not saying that it's coming up as an immature coming up. No, I'm saying in his performance. I'm not saying that he hasn't been there. He has been there during the time of Vincent Eyama. He was there during the time of Vincent. So he has been there. But what I'm saying is, in his performance, he's just coming up.
So who do you think should be our number one? Do you still believe in Maduka Okoye?
Well, Maduka has not really proven his mettle to me. The only time he went for AFCON, he was tested just a few times, and he messed up. Yeah. Yes, some of the goals he considered were not goals that he should have considered. So to say, that's why I said I don't really have any. But if you want to look at it from experience, going into the World Cup, of course I might want to stick with, not Maduka Okoye. I might want to stick with what's it called now?
Francis as well.
Not Francis. Danny Akpeyi.
Now you are talking. All right, let's look at the defense right now. Shemi Ajayi is there. That's the West Bromwich Albion man. Kenneth Omeru, City Leganes of Spain player. Leon Balogun, Glasgow Rangers of Scotland. William Troost-Ekong, Watford in England. Olaoluwa Aina of Torino FC in Italy. Calvin Bassey, Glasgow Rangers in Scotland. There's Abdullahi Shehu of AC Omonia in Cyprus and Zaidu Sanusi of FC Porto. What do you think about Leon Balogun? Leon Balogun, one man that is really hard to say is done so well as a defender. But let me ask you, having Leon Balogun or Troost-Ekong, which of these guys would you say did not deserve this call-up?
Well, William, you can't. These are two guys that you can't. These were the two Oyimbos that the two Oyinbo wars that we talked about.
Oyinbo wars that never won us titles.
Well, we might want to say that, but I feel Leon Balogun is more of a defender that is rugged. But you look at Troost-Ekong is more of a calm defender. Not really we need both calm and a rugged person. You don't need both calm guys because you are going to have issues.
Yeah.
You don't need two rugged guys because the red card is awaiting you. So
sure.
You just have to balance it with one calm and the other
so
rugged.
Who is calm, who is rugged?
Both are just complementary because you can say that Troost is calm.
Okay.
And of course Balogun is a rugged defender.
All right.
So both are
let's move to the midfield because I really want to talk about the Chelsea issue, and I'm sure Chelsea fans want to talk about this right now. It's time to rally around, Chelsea Football Club, and see how that situation, the current situation they find themselves, won't affect the team because everybody is talking. But first, let's deal with the Super Eagles roster provisional list. For the midfielders, Frank Oyeka of Brentford in England. There is Joseph Ayodele Aribo of Glasgow Rangers in Scotland. There is Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City of England. Ogenekare Tebo of Watford in England. Then Amao of FC Copenhagen in Denmark. He joined from Amabi some weeks ago. What do you think about the midfield for Nigeria? Quickly.
Well, the midfield quite fantastic. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this healthy competition coming in right now. Now we're going to see get a Tebo coming in. Tebo is going to add flavor into that midfield. He's a box-to-box player. That's the kind of player that we've actually wanted. He's even one of the players that can give you that a bit of creativity in the midfield. He knows how to hold the ball and he can shoot. He can come back. And so it seems there's a balance in the midfield.
So you think Etebo can really give us creativity?
Of course, he can.
Okay.
I'm not saying it should be outright number 10, no. But I'm saying that he could actually, come to give us that iota, that atom of creativity can be actually achieved through the expertise of Etebo.
For the forwards, Ahmed Musa is there again. Just when we thought, okay, maybe, the World Cup may just be his final World Cup.
Exactly.
And Samuel Chukwueze of Villarreal there's Victor Osimhen of Napoli. In Italy, there's Bosi Simon. FC Nantes doing well for them. Sadiq Umar unstoppable at the moment with Ameria Odoni Gallo. 18th goal of the season yesterday for Al Hilal against Al Nassr. Kelechi Iheanacho so far has really been struggling. Manuel Dennis struggling with Watford lately, even though he scored a couple of goals this year. Lookman of Leicester City always having that cameo, second half appearance and all. What do you think about the forwards? Quickly.
Yeah, forward quite fantastic. I love, like I said, I love the combo right now. What we're seeing from the midfield to the attack, we're seeing a lot of healthy competition. Osimhen is there, Dennis is there. So these are players that can actually give themselves. Sadiq Umar is also in the frame because I saw him. I think he scored a goal over the weekend.
Yeah, for his side,
for his club. So he's actually in the frame as well. Although you might want to say that he's a sluggish player, but he reminds me of that man. One of the legends in Nigeria, Kanu Nwako. He can hold on to the ball and he can give you make some.
Let me put you on the spot. Sadiq Umar or Paul Onuachu, who are you going to pick as your own number 9 if you are given that chance?
Well, I'm going to straight off for Sadiq Umar.
Why?
Because I feel he's more technical than Paul Onuachu. That's for me.
All right, I've gotten what I actually want to get. Okay, stand by. Chidozie Awaziem of Allianspor in Turkey. He was on for them when they played against Gaziantep yesterday. They won 2-1. He came on in the first half of extra time. There is Jamilu Collins of SC Paderborn in Germany, Chidere Rodriguez of CSK Moscow in Russia, Taiwo Awuni of Union Berlin in Germany. Maybe it's right to put him on standby because he's here to settle since he joined from AFCON. There's Paulo Nuachu of KLC Genk in Belgium, Peter Olayenka of Slavia Praha of Czech Republic, and Ogeyo Nazi of Al-Dalah in Saudi Arabia. Ogeyo Nazi is back.
Ogeyo Nazi is also there.
Why would you bring back Ogeyo Nazi on standby?
Well, he's on standby. He's not in the provisional list.
Which means that maybe if any of our midfielders is out, then
if Ogeyo is doing well, why won't you bring him? You know, there's something I want us to.
Do you know the name of the club? Al-Dalah.
It doesn't matter if he's doing well. There's some that. Do you know some of the names of the players? Of course, Senegal just won the AFCON.
Yeah.
Some of their players, you don't even know the club where they came from, and they were playing for their teams.
Onazi
for their country.
Onazi has been playing for Super Eagles for some time before. You know, he missed out for some time.
Of course, injuries
now.
made him lose out on.
Don't you think we are not going to get the best from Onazi after? Because if he's giving out his best, he shouldn't be playing for Al-Dalah after all.
Well, perhaps age is catching up on him, and that's why you find him around that place. But then this is my point. He's not in the squad yet.
Stand by.
He's just standing.
I'm talking about the fact that
so whatever happens,
okay,
who do you think is better off now? Apart from this players, because of course Tebo is there, Aribo is there,
Didi is
there. I can't even find Iwobi here. I can't even find Olayinka here. I can't even find
Olayinka is on standby.
Olayinka is there. I can't even find Kelechi Nwakali. He's not there. So these perhaps maybe because he hasn't really found them worthy to be there. So if Ogeyi is there, that means Ogeyi is doing well.
All right, let's open the phone lines right now and let's talk about the Super Eagles roster, the provisional list, and what you all think about the selected players by the coach Augustine Eguavon. There is no Alex Iwobi, there is no Kelechi Nwakali, but guess what? Ogeyi Onazi is on standby. 0815-192-5925, 0815-192-5925, or 0902-280-9257, 0902-280-9257. Call in right now and let's talk on the roster of the Super Eagles of Nigeria ahead of that big match against the Ghanaians. Alright, let's talk about this one coming from Ghana. KAA Gents midfielder Elisha Owusu is set to get his first Black Stars call-up ahead of this month's Qatar playoffs for the World Cup. So he's set to get his call-up. Ghana also trying to see how they can set up their team ahead of that big encounter. And one man who has received some, should I say, buckle up from the coach. I'm talking about Ademola Lookman. Leicester City manager has challenged Ademola Lookman to take his goal tally to double figures and help him earn a summer transfer to the Foxes permanent. That's his advice for Ademola Lookman. Don't you think this is some kind of pressure on Ademola Lookman?
Well, a lot of pressure on him, but I feel he can live up to the pressure. Is that a player that I see that is not a talker, but is a doer.
Okay.
He doesn't really talk much, but he goes to the pitch and perform.
All right.
I look at that his performance at the conference league, the conference league, where he gave that superb performance. Gave an assist, about 2 assists he did at that. So he's still that player that can manage pressure. All right.
So let me ask you this question. This is some transfer stories concerning a Nigerian player, and this got to do with Victor Osimhen. 2 clubs battling for him. 2 Premier League clubs. Manchester United #1, and the second club is your club, Arsenal. Now, if you are going to advise Osimhen,
why your club, Arsenal?
I thought you were an Arsenal fan.
But you don't need to say your club.
I'm just trying to make your club is interested in signing Osimhen.
Arsenal is interested in signing.
That's your club. So let me ask you, if you had to advise Osimhen to go for one of these clubs, which would it be?
If you want, I'm going to look at it from 2 angles.
Yeah.
Now the angle of business and the angle of pressure. Now, if you don't want to go to a place where you're going to be pressured and you are going to feel relaxed and play your football without nobody giving you too much pressure, you go to Arsenal, because that's where they can actually manage you and help you.
So Arsenal have dropped to that level.
That's not what I'm saying. Arsenal doesn't pressure players. They don't put you under pressure.
How about Don't you think
he wasn't performing? He wasn't performing.
And while he wasn't performing, he was pressurized.
He wasn't performing. Well, he was like a bicycle, and that's why it's not. Of course, how many goals has Lacazette scored for Arsenal? Even before he started scoring goals now, but he wasn't pressured because they saw the
maybe it's a
intensity.
lack of competition in the team.
Well, if there were competition before even Lacazette, of course, Aubameyang was there to compete with him. There were a lot of players, but that's not what I'm saying. Now, if you want to go to a club where, of course, all the light will be on you to an extent, the spotlight on you, and you are ready to battle pressure. You can go to Manchester United, because Manchester United are not really black friendly to an extent. If you watch their antecedent very well,
quite interesting. Black friendly. Can you expatiate?
Not really.
Expatiate.
When it comes to play, of course, we saw what happened to John Jude Gallo even when he went there. Yes,
but they signed him.
Yes, they signed him on a loan, not on a transfer. It was on a loan.
Now, before that time, there has been talks that United don't want black players, they don't like black players, and all of that. But they went for him. For Gallo, and he scored. He played some games for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't you think that's enough black friendly?
It's enough. But if it depends on the coach, the person at the end of affairs at the moment. But in general, we can say it. I can say that unequivocally that Manchester United isn't black friendly. It's obvious.
All right, that's the take of the Sport Maestro this afternoon. All right, talking about Chelsea Football Club, the manager Thomas Tuchel has admitted he fears the sale of the club could have an impact on negotiations with players who are out of contract in the summer. Roman Abramovich confirmed on Wednesday that he's looking to sell the Blues after 19 years in charge following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Of course, that is no news. A number of key players are in the final month of their current days, including captains Cesar Spilicueta, Antonio Rudiger, and Andres Christensen. Ahead of Chelsea trip to Burnley tomorrow, Tuchel said the club can't help it if the sale process has a negative effect on contract talks. Now, this is one of the reasons why I feel it's really going to affect Chelsea, the sport match, and it calls for serious concerns. Yeah. Imagine missing your captain, Aspilicueta, Antonio Rudiger, and Andres Christensen in a summer.
Christensen already, to me, is partially a Barcelona player because he already had this personal agreement with them, so he's partially a Barcelona player as we speak right now, and they are not ready to talk about contract. I'm talking about Chelsea with Christensen. However, Rudiger is one of their top player at the moment. They said they are going to give him an improved contract. He has been saying he doesn't want an improved contract. He just wants the improved contract he wants is the money should be almost double. Because I think his wages are around 100,000 pounds per week, and I feel, is it Barcelona or Real Madrid
that
they are willing to pay him about 300 of, I think 450 or thereabouts. You
mean Christensen?
I'm talking about Rudiger. So
yeah, clubs are really interested in getting Rudiger.
Getting him. So if that pressure is on him, and the team is really in crisis at the moment. They are in crisis. They are just trying to manage it. Because it's going to really affect the players. As Spilicueta is out of contract, he's old already. Of course, they've got replacement for him in the person of Reece James. Reece James can replace him very well in that position. Yeah.
So let me take this message on WhatsApp coming from Israel Akinlaon. He said, "Good afternoon, guys. I prefer Uzor to any of the three goalkeepers. Is the only one that has not disappointed at the big stage. Lookman will bring something special to our attack. Sadiq Umar is better than Onuachu. I am already seeing Nigeria at the World Cup." Wow. Even before the playoffs. Thank you very much for that one. Keep the calls coming at 0815-192-5925, 0815-192-5925, or 0902-280-9257. Alright, sir, this is a message coming from Dr. Jobel Adaji. He said, "What do you mean Okoye is coming up? Kepa Arrizabalaga is small boy too. You can see his stuff anytime is between the sticks for Chelsea. So trying to attack the sport maestro for saying Okay, it's coming. All right, keep the calls coming. Still talking about Chelsea. Latest is that Roman Abramovich has received several serious bids in the region of 3 billion to buy Chelsea. But Newcastle co-owner Amanda Stavely says the Russian has been treated unfairly. Now we'll talk about this, but first after this call. Hello. Okay, we lost that call. So the Sport Maestro, let's talk about this now concerning clubs and owners interested in getting Chelsea a football club. After the coach had announced that he actually want to sell. I'm talking about the owner rather. He want to sell the club. Some people, business owners, have been showing interest. And Swiss billionaire Ansburg Weiss, an American investor, told Bolly understood to be the two parties interested in buying Chelsea. We'll talk about this. We've got some bills to pay. To the Sport will be back shortly.
wo sórí ó ṣe jẹ́ lẹ́nu ni pé ẹni tó bá kọ́ bọ́ sí ìgboro ni ó ṣe pàtàkì kéèyàn wá nǹkan máa ṣe nítorí akitiyan ò lópin kó ọ̀n sọ̀hún tààrà bá ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan nìyẹn súnkẹrẹ gbàkẹrẹ fẹ́ni tó bá ní nǹkan ṣe nítorí pé iwájú ọ̀pá ibi tí ń lé sí kò sáyè fúnfà sẹ́yìn láéláé bá ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan nìyẹn torí náà báwo ló ṣe fẹ́ ṣe lónìí MTN.
Alright, welcome back from that. I see the phone lines buzzing 0815-192-5925 or 0902-280-9257. It's Total Sport and Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. Alright, so still talking about guys interested to buying Chelsea Football Club. Swiss billionaire Hansburg Weiss, an American investor, told Bolly understood to be the two parties interested in buying Chelsea. But British billionaire Jim Ratcliffe has ruled himself out, saying there is no substance report is looking to bid for his boyhood club. Meanwhile, Stavely has said Abramovich has been treated unfairly and has dismissed concerns about the Saudi-backed £300 million takeover of Newcastle. Now, whoever is going to take over Chelsea, do you think they have what it takes to do more than Abramovich has done for over a decade? Okay, let me see who's on the court here. Oh, we lost that call. You can actually call back 0815-192-5925 or 0902-280-9257.
Oh, what? For me, sometimes you don't judge by from a distance. When Roman Abramovich was to take over Chelsea in 2003, 2004, it was a tug of war at a point in time.
Sorry,
Chelsea weren't doing well.
We have a call. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon to you. What is your name?
Olu from Ibr92.5FM.
You are welcome to Total Sports on Ibr92.5 FM.
I think it is better than all those experience and everything. And it's not just coming up in anything. I think it is better than something. That's it.
Okay, I think he's talking about the goalkeepers for the Super Eagles. I pay ahead of Okoye. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for that one. 0815-192-5925 or 0902-280-9257.
All right. So, like I said, you can't judge. When he took over, we knew how Chelsea were struggling. 50 years they couldn't win the league, but he came on board, changed a lot of things, and turned things around. A lot of overhauling was done, and Mourinho came on board, won their first league for them in 50 years, and other coaches have come now. Now, from that period of 2003 up till now, they've won 19 trophies. I mean, that shows the seriousness and, of course, how improved Chelsea has been. Under this man,
Roman Abramovich.
So anybody could actually come on board as well, spend the money. One of the things is spend the money and spend it wisely.
Now, is it about anybody? Or anybody who likes football?
Yeah.
Because one report, part of the research I've made. Okay, let me see who is on the line here. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. What is your name and where are you calling from? All right, yeah, welcome to Total Sport.
Another thing is
Hello, your line is breaking. I can barely hear you from my end. Please try to call back. Apologies for that. I have to end that call. Your line is breaking. It's not clear. you can try to call back 0902-280-9257 or 0815-192-5925. The Sport Maestro, here is one report that Chelsea potential Swiss billionaire buyer has no great liking for football. All right, let me try this call. Let's see who's on the line. Hello? Yeah.
I think it's okay now.
Yeah, okay, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
What was saying is football and what the business want to make from. Africa has never think of making so the kind of the problem the likes of Africa and some other clubs they tell a lot because of the passion they have for the football. We pray that anybody that wants to take over the Chelsea has similar things of life or the likeness in football as Abamu did. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you very much for that. Hoping that whoever is going to take over Chelsea Football Club has that likeness in football, just like Abamu. But let me shock you, because the potential Swiss billionaire buyer has no great liking for football, and this is what is driving him is to buy Chelsea. The lack of respect for Putin linked Roman Abramovich and won't splash out to secure the silverware. That's according to reports about him, that he has no liking for football. And this is why Chelsea fans should pray he's not going to be their owner. All right, let's see who's on the call here. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Dario from Malakia. And a big well done to Sports Maestro. Yes, I would like to just contribute to the issue of Osimhen and Arsenal and Manchester United. Yeah, I want to tell you that the best place for Osimhen, and to my own opinion, should be Arsenal because there will be less pressure on him there. Even as an upcoming player, I think that would be fine. And pertaining to Abramovich, he has done well. I mean, big.
Hello? Oh, sorry, it dropped from your end. You can do well to call back. So the Sport Maestro, the Swiss billionaire has no liking for football and is only driven by his hatred for the Putin-linked Roman Abramovich. Now, don't you think Chelsea will be in trouble if they are to have this kind of owner?
Yeah, of course, they should pray. Just like you said, they don't have someone like that. Just like Arsenal is struggling with their own man, the owner who doesn't like football, who would prefer to go watch basketball in the US rather than watch Arsenal, play. And of course, it will fail to release money to sign players and all that. So I hope they wouldn't fall for that trap because, as far as I'm concerned, it's a trap for them. And it might really, the glory days of Chelsea might really be on its way down if this, this man, if Wise, finally, gets this club on his.
Here is the tweet coming from Nicola Infield. He said that some background on Swiss billionaire Hansburg Wise for his British friends. He certainly likes sport, but has no great affinity for football. But the fact that he could now involved in a takeover of Chelsea comes as something of surprise. So
he's got another for every action there's a motive. He's got another motive for this, and the motive is against Putin.
Putin and most especially against Roman Abramovich.
So that's just it. He doesn't have any affinity, not any affiliation at all, with football. He loves other sports. He might love basketball, he might love tennis and even boxing, but he doesn't like football. And so why do you want to buy a club, a particular club that you don't have, you don't have passion for?
It is what it is. The Sport Maestro, Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters said yesterday that a sale could be concluded in as little as 10 days, but closing a deal of this size in a short space of time seems optimistic at its best. Well, that's it for Chelsea Football Club. We just have to pray for them too and hope they won't fall into the hands of someone who is going to take the club back to where they come from, back to
it's
the below 2003 days.
Yeah.
All right, talking about the draws for the Emirates FA Cup, before we pack our bags and leave this afternoon, Championship side Middlesbrough will welcome Chelsea to the Riverside in the FA Cup quarter-finals. Borough are beating Manchester United and Tottenham in the previous round. Crystal Palace will host Everton after the Toffees beat non-league side Boham Wood in the 5th round, and Southampton faces Manchester City. Nottingham Forest or Huddersfield will face Liverpool. Let's talk about the Chelsea Middlesbrough game. Giant killing Middlesbrough. Don't you think they can beat Chelsea?
a tough one, but then they are no match for Chelsea.
Okay, let's use in this call. Let's see who's on the line. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, seems that caller is not ready. Hello. Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from? You have 20 seconds. Sorry, that line is not clear. Liverpool against Huddersfield or Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, of course, it's going to be Liverpool. No time to analyze.
Man City against Southampton.
That's it. That's a run over.
Thank you very much for coming to the Sport Maestro.
It's always a pleasure.
All right, it's a wrap on. Thank God it's Friday edition of Through Sport on Ibr92.5 FM. Join us tomorrow Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. for a preview and of course review of all the games to be played in Europe. Here is Kenny Bamidele signing out, saying have a lovely day.